first creator of the day. Please help me welcome Hisame at Hisame Artwork. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's so wonderful to be here.
We're excited to have you. So you're tuning in all the way from Romania?
Yes, some of you may know it as the land of vampires, but unfortunately none of us are vampires, but some of us are allergic to garlic, and it's a serious affliction and a true tragedy because we can't eat pizza, some of us.
Wait, so that's true? I thought that was a joke that you were writing me.
No, garlic allergies are real, like peanuts or ambrosia. Some of, for example, my collaborator, June, I think she is allergic either to green beans or ambrosia.
And is that something that's the garlic allergy then, is that something that's quite common?
It's rare. It's rare.
Oh,
I learned about it recently when I got married.
Got it. Oh, that's so funny. So you're a graphic designer in Romania, and you do advertising, you're a teacher. So I guess tell us a little bit about, who you are and what you do so we can get to know you better.
So, like you said, I worked in the advertising industry, in the video game industry. I really do enjoy making art content, and it's just so wonderful to be able to do something that you can always enjoy as a job.
That's amazing. I mean, it's really great that, like you said, you're able to take your passion and turn it into something that actually is profitable for you. So that's really nice to hear. What are some of your favorite things? I know you kind of design all sorts of things, whether it be, games like you said, or books. Do you have a sort of favorite medium that you like to work with?
My passion is animation, but because it's so demanding financially, I've mostly done comic books and video games and board games. If you like, I can show you some of the merchandise, or we can do that later.
Do you have it with you right now?
Yeah.
Let's do it. That sounds fun.
Yeah, for example, this is a board game, and it is within the same genre as Monopoly, but the difference is you're working together with your friends against a company or something like that.
I love that.
Flexible, yeah. And I also have like my comics here, a booklet. So here it is with my bunnies traveling through the USA, and you can stick stickers, illustrations with each state. Let me just show you. So this is kind of how it can come if you order directly from me, but it's also on Lulu print on demand website. And here you can see the stickers.
So when you come up with a game, is this for fun, or is this for work, or a mixture of both?
This one is for fun. It's a personal project. This is something that I wish I had when I was little. So you can stick the stickers here with each state. Yeah, and I have like all the 50 states. I have gotten requests to do the Commonwealth and the European Union as well. So those are coming up next. And you have like
I needed one of these. That is so cute. That's incredible. I really love this so much.
Yeah, it's my one of my biggest sellers. It's really fun. I've never met a child that was disappointed in this. I mean, there's always the possibility, but so far, every kid that I've given it to and I've met personally, that I really enjoyed it. So it was really fun. It's useful for
we have some holidays coming up here in the United States. So if anyone's kind of trying to figure out what to give, a kid maybe in their family, I feel like that would be a really, really great thing, especially since we're all probably dying to travel again once this is all over. Cool little goal, able to set different states as your sort of dream destinations and hopefully get to them and then put the sticker on. That's really cute.
Yes, and I do plan to do Southeast Asia as well, but I've got more requests for the European Union and the Commonwealth. And my comic book is about Isaac Newton, so it's history themed.
Oh my gosh.
And there's the protagonist is half Dutch, half Chinese, because I'm also half Romanian, half Turkish. So I kind of took some inspiration from that.
That's incredible. How did you study to end up in this field? Did you go to school for this? Did you
So
teach
I
yourself?
finished film school and also international marketing. So I got 2 degrees. I did them at the same time because it's not rocket science. It was just complicated because I had to go in the morning to the economics university and then in the afternoon for the film university. So I didn't have much free time, but I got them done in 3 years and then the master's.
Wow, that's amazing. And then what was that transition like to you into the professional world?
It was really exciting. Like my first job was as a junior animator for a feature film that was about Romanian folklore, and I really enjoyed working on that one. I did a lot of background stuff, so I wasn't in the forefront because I was a junior animator. But for me, it was so exciting. Like even if I was animating some leaves in the wind, it was really awesome. And then I worked on other projects. Unfortunately, animation in Romania isn't very profitable. So I mostly did advertising and video games, but that's so much fun as well.
What is the thing that you like most about what you do? Like what drew you to doing this in the first place?
Oh, it's a funny story. So my first dream job was to be a marine biologist because I grew up with Johnny Quest and Jacques Cousteau and Animal Planet, and also I have scientists and like academic personnel in my family. So I mean, for example, my grandfather, which you can see his family, his portrait there.
Wow.
Worked in the Ministry of Education, and he worked on books and atlases and things like that. So it was a passion in the family, and but it doesn't pay that well. So everybody, including teachers, were like, "Don't do science! Don't do science! You're gonna starve to death." And in the end, I decided to do art because like it's more socially acceptable to be a poor artist than a poor scientist. But I married a physicist, and he's here, and it worked out.
Wow. And what is the origin behind the name of your company?
So Hisame is a Japanese name. I'm very passionate about Japanese culture. I've been there. I study Japanese. I teach a bit of Japanese. And the name came from a dictionary of kanji, and I was still a beginner, so I didn't really understand very well.
Yeah.
And
And
the
coffee is the hardest.
translation was cool autumn rain, and that sounded so great to me because I am born in the autumn, and it's my favorite season. Halloween is my favorite festivity. And then later on, when I started learning kanji properly, it was like, no, it's not cool autumn rain, it's a hailstorm. And I was like,
Wow.
okay, well, a blizzard is a company name. I can work with that. As long as I don't tell anybody what it means, I can say it is cool autumn rain and nobody will know.
That is so, it's like getting a tattoo of a character that you didn't know what it meant, and then finding out later that you have this like thing etched on you that you, yeah.
At least it's not anything bad. It's just
No,
nice.
no, no, no.
I mean,
That's so, we share that in common because, and I bet your Japanese is a lot better than mine, but I actually studied Japanese from when I was in 6th grade till I was a senior in high school, and I went twice to study school there.
that's so awesome.
I too have a fascination with Japanese and Japanese culture. And I know that kanji is, I mean, there's so much kanji, so it's very, you know, we can learn hiragana and katakana, but kanji, like for anyone that's watching that doesn't know, like there's how many, like thousands and thousands.
I don't know. 20,000 are in Chinese, the Hanji.
Yeah.
But in Japanese, they're like slightly less, but it's still so much for us Europeans.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah.
When you've traveled to Japan, what parts have you gone to?
I went to Nagoya. A university professor hosted me. I actually met him in an ice cream shop in Poland, and I think Warsaw. I think, yeah, and I heard him and his wife speaking Japanese, and I was so excited. It was like the first Japanese person I met in real life. So started a conversation with them, and then I continued it on email, and they invited me there, and it was really awesome. They showed me around. I went to Kyoto,
Oh,
which I
nice.
loved, and Takayama
Yeah.
and Onsen, another great place to visit.
Oh my
It was
gosh, that's
awesome.
what got you into Japanese culture in the first place? Was it something that you encountered as a kid?
Well, for example, there was Sailor Moon in the morning and
Yeah,
Samurai X, but they were dubbed
yeah.
in French, so I thought it was French cartoons. And Simpsons was dubbed in German, so I thought Simpsons is a German cartoon because I was a kid. And then later on, we had Anime Plus after Cartoon Network or something like that in Romania. And
Yeah,
that's when
yeah.
I first saw Inuyasha and other animes. And from there, the passion for the language continued. Actually, both Turkish and Japanese have the verb at the end of the sentence, which is really interesting. Apparently, they're like super distant relatives, Altaic languages or something like that. Exactly. I'm not a
That's
linguist, but
so cool. I didn't
yeah,
even I can't even remember the fact like at this point that the verb goes at the end of the sentence, but that's a
it
really
didn't
interesting
click for
fact.
me either. Like I speak Turkish. I used to with my grandparents. They've passed away, but I've
Yeah.
never given it any thought to the grammar until one day I was commenting in class and like, oh, Japanese is so weird. The verb is at the end of the sentence, and the teacher turned at me and like, you out of all the people complain about this, doesn't it in Turkish have the verb at the end of the sentence as well? And I was like thinking Turkish sentences in my head. And I was like, I'm sorry.
That is, yeah. I mean, why would you realize it? It just kind of clicked. I like that. And how did you teach yourself Japanese? Did you
I went
that come?
at the Economics Academy. They had optional programs to learn Chinese and Turkish and Japanese, and unfortunately, there weren't enough students for Chinese and Turkish, so those never were. But there were enough for Japanese to have the class, and I studied it for 2 years in university, and then I went to summer schools, and then I continued by myself because meantime we got YouTube and Wikipedia and all these websites to help you learn. Because 15 years ago, when I was a teenager, trying to do this by myself, I only had books, and it's hard. You need a teacher for Japanese. It's the grammar is
Yeah.
so different from Romanian that it's hard to wrap your head around certain things, like only having two tenses. In Romanian, we have like 23 or something like that.
So how many languages do you speak?
I'm proficient, I would say, in Romanian, fluent, sorry, in Romanian and English. I mean, I can get around in Japanese and French and Turkish, and then there's certain languages that you can kind of understand because they're so close to yours, like Italian. My
Mm-hmm.
collaborator June is Italian, but we speak in English to be sure. There are no misunderstandings.
Wow, I mean that's really impressive. So let's talk a little bit about your experience with Sue then. So you're a Sue vet, right? So you were around for the original Sue. So I guess what's your experience been like from the original one to its current form? How have things changed? Are you happy with where we're at? What would you like to see? All of that stuff.
So first of all, I'm really happy it's back because I have all my friends back together again in one place. After it
Mm-hmm.
broke up, we continued on YouTube with the Quick Draw collab and the Color Me collab and other art events that we used to host on Sue, and then we moved them on Facebook and YouTube and on Discord. And it's really complicated because not everybody uses the same thing. So when can you find a person to talk to them and tell them, hey, we're getting together to do this art event. Would you want to join? So I'm super happy Sue is back, so we can do that again on Sue. I've already started a group for these art events, but we're gonna go live with the events once all the bugs are out, because some are struggling with some of the issues, so they're waiting for the final version. I couldn't wait to. I wanted to get back on Two because there's so many things I really enjoyed about it. The old Two was very good at fostering communities and communication. Like replying at the moment on the new Two is a bit complicated. Also, us artists, a lot of us really dislike that it's an app because we're having the same issues we have with Instagram, and we prefer a desktop version because it's easier to upload, to post all the links to the shops and everything like that. And also a lot of us that are working with our fingers, they get dry, they get with paint or other things. So working on touch screen can be very frustrating.
I never even thought about that. That's like, you know, that's just another perspective that I just never would have considered. So that's really great information. Is there anything that you like about the new Sue that, you know, stands out to you?
This interview, I don't remember them ever doing this. I did join quite in the last 7 months or something like that before it cut off. Also, I like that you have the sponsor button. I think that's helpful with the revenue. I really did love the donation option on Old Sue because, for example, some people don't want to cash out. They want to keep the coins internally and give it to other people. Like often you would have like artist groupies or artist fans. So people that were making art, but they really enjoyed art and they were very supportive of artists. And in a way, they were like mini patrons of the arts. And that made them feel very good. They were appreciated, they were rewarded, they were doing something good. And so they really enjoyed it. And also they could purchase art. So because it's all digital, you could do an illustration, a digital one, and then you would sell it for, I don't know, let's say $5 or 10 or whatever amount the other person collected, because it used to be $100 to cash out. So a lot of people thought, well, I'm never going to get to that amount. Why not do some good with it?
Yeah. Well, I do know, I'll tell you a couple things that the idea of giving back and being able to donate your pocket change, let's say, is coming back. That is definitely a pillar of the Sioux community. So that's something that will be available. What else was I going to say? Yeah, I'm glad you said that you liked this show because I have a job because of it. But you know, more than that, I think it's, you know, Sioux prides itself on the fact that they are really putting content creators at the forefront. And this show is sort of the embodiment of that because it's bringing on all of the people that are making good content on Sioux and just giving them a spotlight to sort of get their work out to other people, which I think is really, really cool. And it's not just, you know, influencers or celebrities. It's just like people who are part of the community, which is incredible. And it's really nice because, like, I think a lot of people do come here for the money, but as you've said, people don't stay for the money. They're more willing to connect or give it to someone else or support another artist. And I think like some of the tools like the support me button enable people to, you know, give back the way that they want to. So maybe people come for the money, but they stay for the community and sort of like the connections that they make here on the platform. But I am glad that you're back. What got you to Sioux, I guess the first Sioux in the first place? What about it enticed you? Was it the money thing or what brought you to it in the first place?
So first of all, I totally agree with you. Indeed, it is, for some people, it's the money that attracts them, but they stay for the community. So a friend of mine that was following me on Facebook, Scuba's Art, he told me about Sioux. And what happened was that at the time, Sioux was blocked on Facebook for being a pyramid scheme, scam, something like that. And I was like, okay, so there's so many awful things on Facebook that are just fine, ranging from political to very other malicious forms of scamming on Facebook. And those were fine. Like nobody took those down, even though they were constantly reported, but they took down Sioux. And I was like, Something's fishy. Like your description was, or at least Sebastian's description was, that it's Facebook, but it pays you. It doesn't scam you. It doesn't rip you off. It doesn't take your money. It gives you money. And I was like,
Yeah.
this seems very suspicious. Like out of all the things, this looks like competition, and this looks like serious competition. That Facebook went to these steps. They noticed something and they took action. So I was like, I'm getting on too. I want to see what it's about. And
That's so funny.
yeah, and that's how I got into it. And what was really important to me, and I'm sad it's hard to do now, was the welcoming committee. So whenever somebody just joined, there was a way for the other members of the community to see that somebody just joined. And also I had someone that introduced me, but it's not necessarily this, to be able, when you join the platform, to be noticed and to have somebody be there, a real human being, to say, hey, welcome to the platform. This is the community. This is what we do. We're so happy to have you here. Here's some tips to know. Because, for example, a lot of people that have joined too from certain places that maybe there's not a cultural communication option, because, for example, Scuba is from the US, but the welcoming committee was mostly Italian, and they have the both family tag, and so they have ways to organize themselves and welcome people. So if you don't have access to that, you're going on Sue, and it's, oh, social debt pays, so you have to spam everybody with begging messages, and that's not a great idea, and it's not going to get you very far. But if you are welcomed by somebody who's an honest, legit person and another artist like yourself, they can like guide you and tell you, hey, this is how the manners are on too, because you have manners everywhere in every culture. Like, you don't cough, you cough, you use a napkin, you don't use a napkin, whatever the cultural differences are. It helps to know them.
I love the way that you put that in the metaphor that you use. So I also have one more piece of news for you. I've actually been spending all morning and yesterday shooting videos to act as the welcome committee. So basically, I've been shooting all these little short videos that will live on the Sue Live page, which, you know, everybody basically immediately follow Sue Live. Like when you join, you're automatically following Sue Live. So when you'll see in the feed these different videos popping up that's like, Sue 101, welcome to Sue, it's your first day, here's how to set up your profile. Second video would be like, what is original content? Why is it important? So all of these little things we've been filming so that we can sort of create this welcoming committee by means of Sue Live, so that that exists at least in one form there. But I think also there is the ability, and I'd have to get some clarification on this from other people who are better, you know, familiar with the platform, because I'm still learning myself, but I think there's a way to see the new people that are joining, so that if you personally, because I think because they all follow Sue Live, there's a way to sort of see every new person that's joining, and you can go follow them or say hello to them individually if you wanted to, which is really cool. But I don't know exactly how to do that. I do know people are doing it, but I'm not sure how. But just to make it a bit easier, like I said, we're sort of just going to streamline the process so that on Sue Live, even if, like, let's say you did see a new person, right, that came on and joined and they had questions, you know, you could just send them straight to the Sue Live page and be like, hey, there's these 5 videos to watch. I think they'll really explain how we use Sue, and also like you said, the manners of Sue, and sort of like how to be a part of this community in a respectful way. So I'm really excited that you said that, because it gave me an opportunity to tell you kind of what's coming. But let's put all of that aside and sort of, we have you here. I'm really excited about your content. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at your profile and also the community that you had previously mentioned. So we will be right back. We're back with Hisame artwork. Hisame. I keep saying, I should know this. Hisame. Hisame.
Yes.
Okay. I should know this. See, but now I know it means hailstorm instead of cool autumn.
I prefer
something.
the original.
Okay. So if you watch this, you know the insider info, but you can tell everyone else that it means cool autumn rain, right? That's what we're going
Yeah,
with?
there are not that many Japanese in Europe. I can get away with it.
Cool autumn rain. We're back with cool autumn rain. And as you can see, so there's, if you were to search Hisame, here in the search bar, you would see that there's both her profile, right? And then there's also the art events that she mentioned earlier, which is a community. So I'm just going to click quickly on that so that you guys can see here. So this is, if you're an artist, and you wanted to get involved, this is a great community to join and check out and be a part of. And, you know, like she said, a lot of her fellow artists are waiting a little bit more until Sue develops. But if you're already here, you want to connect, this is a great community to check out for sure. And now I will go to your page, which I always do it now that we've talked, we're officially friends. So I can friend and follow you. And yeah, let's walk through some of your page. I'm really excited for everyone else to sort of see. So is this your little character here?
Yes, this is Ernest.
This is Ernest. Ernest is so cute. So Ernest was really excited to be on Sue Live today. So thanks for announcing that. And so talk to me about some of your sort of fan art and things that you do.
So this art is not made by me, it's made by fans of my comic books. So I appreciate my community so much, and I'm so grateful for all the people that follow my art and support me and sponsor me. And it helped me to make the Niels Feynman comic book, which I worked in collaboration with my friend June Fender. She did the line art and I did everything else. I needed someone to help me share the workload because it's just so much work. And over the 4 years it took us to make book one, over 150 story pages plus I don't know how much extra content. People have sent us fan art because they enjoyed the characters that we created so much, and here you can see some of it. And of course, if anybody else wants to send us fan art, we'll be so happy to have it. I showcased it here on Sue, on all my other social media, on Tapastic. And at the end of the printed version that is available for purchase on Lulu, you'll find the artwork there as well from other people from around the world. It's so awesome to be part of.
I mean, that's amazing. You've made it if there's fan art. Truly, that's what I say.
And I've also had my art stolen and put on Amazon, so I check all the boxes.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's so sinful. I can't believe people do that. It's disgusting. That's just to encourage you guys to keep posting original content. There's no need to be stealing other people's content. If you like someone's content, that's great. Share with credit, for sure. Just make sure that you're shouting them out. People love, I mean, I know for me, I love if somebody loves one of my videos or my photos. That's great. And if you want to share it, I'm all for it. Just make sure you tell people whose it is and don't try to pass it off as your own. So, okay, here's, again, this is from your little booklet that you showed us earlier, right?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah, so you can, if this was something that you said, oh my gosh, this would make a great gift for one of the holidays coming up, like go check out on lulu.com. The book is available for purchase there along with some of the other things that we've mentioned. How did you get your inspiration for the different states out of curiosity?
So I drawn on my own ideas, but also to be sure I'm not disrespectful, I've contacted everyday Americans to ask what they think of a certain state. I got corn for like 15 states, which wasn't very helpful in some situations. I kept corn for Nebraska and films because you eat popcorn and watch films. But movies for California, the New York, you have the statue and so many other things, and all the information is relevant and researched. I use the that data from the official government pages, CIA, for example, like what the statuses of each state in regards to economic output. And also I checked Wikipedia and then the references to see exactly which indigenous tribes were there before which Europeans came along. So like, for example, you have the Chippewas in Michigan, and then you had Canadian, French, and then British. So I kind of wanted to show kind of an overarching historical perspective, and also the most important output of each state.
That's incredible. I mean, that sounds really well researched. So it's really an educational, fun way for kids to learn about the different geographic locations in the states. I love that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So you just put up some house plants, yeah?
Yeah, I love having green stuff around my house. I can never get enough of it.
Too. On my set, around my house, it makes me, especially right now, it's a little bit, harder to just like go outside casually. So it's nice to sort of bring the outside in. I definitely relate to that. Did you dress up for Halloween or participate in the contest at all?
No, unfortunately, this year I've been just so busy with work and other things like that. Halloween is my favorite, but not this year. I wasn't able to fully enjoy it.
Yeah.
But, there's always next year.
And there's always incredible art that you made that pertains to Halloween, so you celebrated in a different way.
Yes. My birthday is on the 30th of November, and I hope we can have a petition for it to be the second Halloween, because like you have second breakfast in the Hobbits. Why not second Halloween? It's such a great event.
Halloween has to be one of my favorites too, because I love dressing up and I love the creativity that goes in, and I love candy. I love candy too.
I miss candy corn here. It isn't in Romania.
Oh my gosh, you're a candy corn lover. I love candy corn too, but you know that it's a huge disagreement here in the States. People are like, is it gross or is it good? And I am a good. It is very good.
It tastes like honey. I mean, whatever chemicals they're putting in it tastes good.
I like it too. I actually did a whole video asking, this is like a couple of years ago, but I went around New York and I asked people, is it gross or is it good? And I made a whole video out of people either being disgusted by candy corn or totally loving it. So it was really fun to see that people had very strong opinions about candy corn.
Interesting. I was very happy because I lived for 5 years in the US, and it was interesting how many types of candy corn you have there.
Oh yeah, there's different shapes and like there's different brands. I think Brock's is the most famous. And you know what else I love, by the way, just returning to your page, is that you shout out so many other people. You shout out other artists, like you said, you really use this to sort of foster a supportive environment for other like-minded sort of creators. So I guess while I have you here, because quickly our interview is coming to an end, I wanted to know if there are any other creators that you'd like to shout out from the Sue platform.
So my friend June Fender, you've already contacted her, but unfortunately she's shy and her English isn't as good as she would hope to be to make the interview. I think her English is great, but she wasn't very sure, plus the internet connection isn't great where she is. But she is an amazing artist. Please do check out her artist page. Also, Tatterberry, I really like her art. Watercolors, amazing. Anna, my friend, she does comics and photographs of nature and flowers. Who else is here? Okay, Ronnie. She is one of the most amazing people in the world. So she has a community dedicated to supporting indie artists.
Wow.
And yeah. And she's one of my biggest supporters. And she is my distributor for my books in Canada. And if you are an indie artist and are looking for a way to help fund your endeavors, you can contact Hirani. She is on too. Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, I just clicked out I clicked into an ad. That's what happens. I just made Sue some dollars, so that's okay. Back to also, I wanted to find out if there was anything else that you wanted to, tell us here at Sue, or say to your Sue family.
Thank you everyone for all of your support and your kindness. It's something that motivates me to give back as well, because I've had such a great welcoming here on Sioux. And I love the fact that it is so active, and I don't know, like on Facebook or on Instagram, you just feel lonely, like nobody's listening, nobody cares. And it's so much better here on Sioux. It feels like you're part of something, and you feel the growth. Like I have 2,400, I don't know, something like that, followers here on Sioux, and it's my biggest.
I'll go back to the top. There you go. 2,423 followers. That's amazing. Well earned, because you're posting really amazing original content.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a really important part of the community, and for, really inspiring others. So we were really happy to have you on the show. And just a reminder, if you guys want to go connect to another incredible artist, go check out Hisame artwork here on Sioux. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for coming on, and let's stay in touch. So cute.
Thank you. We will. Thank you. Bye.
All right, everyone, I'll be right back with Jeffrey Kipple, Mindy Blackstein, and the crew.